Welcome back to the podcast with Schmoe and Shadez, the podcast, season 1, the Renaissance podcast, episode 2, our favorite reality TV show. Don't click. You guys came here for real? You're going to get it.
No doubt, no doubt.
Thank you for clicking on episode 2. You guys don't know how appreciative we are of it. Good morning, Shades.
Good morning, Schmoe.
How are you doing?
A little upset. I mean, I know that
Tell
we
me
weren't
about it.
going, and I know that we weren't going to talk about, but
Oh,
let's address the elephant in the room. All right?
you sure?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
guys.
pretty sure.
We don't hide anything from you guys. Go ahead.
We had only nine listeners for last week's podcast. And to be honest, that's a disgrace. Schmo and I work really hard, day in and day out.
No doubt.
And we can't get simple support from you guys to listen to the podcast in its entirety. You don't have to be fully listening to ours.
Guys, that's the beauty of our podcast, guys. All we ask is that you just put it on the background. Put it on the background while you're doing other things. Just
Yep.
Guys, come on.
From those who actually listen to it, we've received no questions, no comments, or no reviews from you guys. So we don't know what to work on. We had to self-scout our own podcast, and I had to realize myself that this microphone was not working. You guys didn't tell me that. We don't know what to improve on.
You know how many times we had to listen to our podcast over and over again?
Tell them.
I'd even argue probably 8 times. We together and then on our own time. We listened to it over and over again, and we're trying to get better, guys.
And what was the average listening time? I forgot.
30 seconds.
It's pathetic. It is pathetic that you guys are showing no support to us.
Calm down. It's all right.
All
We'll get through it.
We still love you guys, but let's be honest. Enough is enough.
Let's get into the topic for today, which is our favorite reality TV show. Our favorite reality TV show is...
It's Survivor. So
some of you might be asking, what is Survivor? Well, Survivor has been on air since 2000 and has run 40 seasons. The most recent season, named Winners at War, and the contestants, 16 through 20, go to an island. Jeff Probst is the host.
You mean the guy who wears the bad shorts and the blue t-shirt with his sleeves rolled up and the weird hat?
That's him, the same guy who denied coming on our show.
Why did he decline?
Let's just say he respectfully declined.
Yeah, you know what we mean.
Locations in the past have been Borneo, the Amazon, Samoa, most recently, Fiji. At the beginning of the game, there are 2 tribes consisting of either 8, 9, or 10 members each.
Yep.
Okay, the 2 tribes compete against each other for rewards to help keep them strong, as well as compete against each other for immunity.
That's where we've heard the line before. Let's keep the tribe strong. We have to keep the tribe strong.
That's right. The team that wins immunity challenge avoids tribal council. At tribal council, the losing team has to vote one of their own members off the island. At the midway point of the game, usually when there are around 10 to 13 contestants left, the 2 tribes merge. They merge together, becoming one tribe, where you have to differentiate each other amongst each other to win the game.
I'll take it from here. From there, the immunity challenge is individual, as only one person is safe from tribal council when there are 3 people left.
Or 2 in older seasons.
The members voted out post-merge. Vote for the winner out of the 3 people.
Or 2 in older seasons.
The contestant with the most votes is the sole survivor and earns the title of winning that season. They also earn $1 million.
$1 million.
But let's be honest, it's probably like $600K once the president of that season takes it.
Taxes.
Yeah,
I mean,
taxes.
guys, if you want us to do an episode, if you guys want us to do an episode on taxes, guys, I mean, we're up for it. We got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's continue. It has been proven that anybody can win Survivor if they outwit, outplay, or outlast.
So, Shades, after talking about the show for a bit, what makes it our favorite reality TV show? Why do we love the show?
Other than other reality TV shows,
yes,
demonstrates a microcosm of society where it represents the world in a TV show. It's not like other reality TV shows like Too Hot to Handle or The Amazing Race. When
or,
we're watching
Big Brother.
Yeah. When we're watching Survivor, we think of it as our own life.
Guys, I can't tell you how many times I've just finished an episode, just finished a season of Survivor, and then later that day, I think, wow, this I can really apply to my life, guys.
Can you give our audience an example?
An example? Let me think.
Well, I know that for a fact that at every, like, especially in the last 5 seasons, like at the midway point of the season, something happens and it's not even that dramatic. And Jeff says at Tribal Council, wow. And
yes.
He's like, isn't this just great? This is how this show is just transferring.
This is how it's a microcosm of society. It's a microcosm of society, guys.
Then there's like one contestant who speaks up about her own personal life or his own personal life and how they relate it to the show. And Jeff Probst tries to show that there's a connection, but most of the time the audience is just like, what?
That's exactly how I reacted. To get back maybe to an example. Sometimes I'll be watching the show and I'll see somebody. It's late at night, and they'll think, how about we go out into the world and
go out where?
Go out into the world.
Are they?
Try and
are they already outside?
Find something.
Are they already outside?
Try and find something that will help them. They will go out into the world and try and
explore
the
world. Yep.
Yes, into the chaos and try and bring something out of that chaos of the forest. Something that they need.
What chaos? What's the chaos?
The forest is the chaos, and they try and bring something out. And is there? What would you say is that thing that they're looking for in the forest? Late at night, they'll try and find something. What is it?
Perhaps a hidden beauty idol?
You hit the head with the nail.
You mean like the hammer with the nail?
And well, let me ask you a question, Shades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we would be good at the show? Do you think we would be good at the show Survivor?
I know I would be good at the show. I don't know about you. You have to find it within yourself.
The producers seem to think you would be good at the show.
Are we gonna talk about this?
Guys, we don't hide anything from you guys. I'm gonna bring it up. I'll bring it up.
All right. Well, let's address the elephant in the room. All right.
Shades, did you or did you not make it through the finals of auditions for the show?
I did. but it was a long
Tell me about it.
and tedious process. So just
Start from the beginning. Just start from the beginning.
one night after watching a season 34 episode of Survivor Game Changers, I was like, you know what? I really want to be part of this show. I think I can make it better.
What made you think that you would be a good fit? Was there something about your personality, something about the show that you were interested?
I just thought that I was a better player, better person than
Okay.
everyone on that season. If you look at season 34 and look at the final three, the final three was Sarah Lucina, Brad Culpepper, and I know, meme city, right? And Troy Zan. And I felt like I was a better player than 2 out of 3. And
Who
the
is
winner,
who is
really,
the winner? You thought the winner
she really annoyed me. She really annoyed me, but she is a good player, as she most recently showed in Survivor Season 40. But I just felt I was a better personality than these people. I was a better person, better player. So I went on my laptop, searched for Survivor auditions, and they wanted me to make a 5-minute video to demonstrate my personality.
To show your entire self in 5 minutes on a video?
I know, rigorous, right? So what I did was I figured that all these buffoons are gonna make videos of themselves seeing worms in their backyard. So
that's what I would do.
Exactly. That's my point. So I changed my approach.
With that. Go on.
I know it was a low blow, but
go on.
You know what I mean. So I figured I would change my approach. Change the approach of everyone. So I sat in a room like this, podcasting, where I usually podcast, of course, stared at the screen.
Podcast room.
Stared at the camera and just talked about myself for 5 minutes and how I would be able to change the game for the better. What are my personality traits? How can I talk with other people?
Who is Shades? Could you give us a glimpse into what you the kind of stuff you talked about on the audition video?
Season 34 was the point in time in Survivor history when hidden immunity idols were at its all-time high. They were just coming out of everyone's back pocket, and all these advantages, and all this other crap. And I took the opposite approach. I'm going to be an aggressive player. There's no doubt about that. But I don't need these...
That's Shades.
I don't need these advantages circling all around me. I can use my wit. I can use my smarts, my intelligence. Yes, my outplay portion. I can win challenges. There is no doubt about that. As you know me, Schmoe, I am a physical specimen.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So I basically just explained all of this to the Survivor producers in my video, that I don't care about being a big target. Everyone at that time, they're like, I gotta lower my threat level, all this crap.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I'm like, why not make the show entertaining for the fans? Like, all these people are like, I have to lower my threat level, I have to play this game in this cookie cutter way. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, $1 million sounds good and all, but let's be honest, it's only $600K. And it's an adventure of a lifetime, so I'm gonna give it my all out there and
show them what you got. Show them everything.
For me, it wasn't all about winning. Yep. If I played a really hard game and got to the final 5, that's better than playing like a mouse and winning the game, in my opinion.
So, I guess this is sort of what the producers liked about you. They thought you were.
I'm a straight
real. They thought you were real.
I'm a straight shooter, I would say. I think that's what they loved about me. So later on that month, I got a call and they're like, Shades, we're really interested in you. Perhaps, are you interested in the show still? I'm like, yeah, totally, totes. So they gave
Uh-huh.
me like, what's the word? An invitation. You know what
Ah,
an
yes,
invitation
yes, an
is?
invitation, an RSVP. You had to RSVP to say
They,
whether or not you were going to be there for the auditions, final auditions.
yeah, they were in Los Angeles, and that was my first time ever going to LA.
Wow,
My dad and I went, and my dad was really proud of me. He's like,
you made it,
give them,
kid.
give them all, give them your all, Tiger. He said exactly that.
Wow.
And when I walked into that audition room, there was like 60 other contestants beside me. I, to be honest, I felt pretty overwhelmed, and part of like when I'm nervous and a little jittery, I like to talk and chat with my other
Yes, to break
members.
the ice, break the ice.
Yes, I love that saying. That's a great saying.
Yes, yes.
But they said that we're not allowed to talk to other members because,
What?
yeah, I mean, think about it. If you talk to other members, you can start the beginnings of an alliance. And
What? So you weren't even allowed to talk to other people?
nope, we had to be quiet all day. And
So you got
uh,
into the audition room. You
yeah,
got into the
it was
audition
pretty
room.
late. It was pretty late. It was like around 9:30 p.m., which
You
is
were, I
pretty
mean,
late
that's
for
your
me.
bedtime. Yeah, it's pretty much your bedtime.
And I went in. I was nervous, but I wasn't that bad after waiting all day. I mean,
A
the
little
longer you
jittery.
wait, the better. Yeah, a little clammy. That's the perfect word. Clammy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very clammy.
And I walked in the room. There was like 50 CBS producers. Jeff
Wow.
Probst was there.
What?
Yes, he was there. And they asked me questions like the same questions in my audition video to see if I would waver. It was like a
Like
criminal
a
investigation.
yes. An interrogation into
Yeah,
who you
they.
are. Are you really the man in the video? Is that who we're putting on the
I
show?
mean, it wasn't. Well, yeah, is my personality like the man in the video, and they wanted to see me. And in the video, I said I was strong, and I do know I know I'm strong, but
But they need to know.
they need to know themselves. And when you have 50 people staring at you with a big white light shining on your face, that'll that'll take something out of you. And I guess they didn't like my presence. And I guess
They were intimidated. They were
no,
intimidated
they weren't.
by
They weren't intimidated. I think it was more that I was intimidated by them, and it just didn't work out. I answered all their questions in a confident manner, but it wasn't the same confidence I showed on the video. You know, I had to show that same confidence,
mm.
that person that they thought was
Did
going
did
to
you
the
did you
island.
say anything? Anything to offend them?
But I might have said something, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't.
Oh,
Well, we'll skip that. We'll skip it.
okay.
We'll cut this out.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. We'll move on. We'll move on.
But
So
that was it. That was my experience. They asked me the
and
same
yeah,
questions
did
that
you ever
I
get
was
word back
prepared
from them?
for.
Ever get word back from them?
Yeah, they said I didn't make the cut, but better luck next year. So I still haven't gotten anything back. I'm thinking of making another audition video soon because I do think
Nice.
when I'm
When that
out there on
happens,
that
yeah,
island, I think I'll be able to do some stuff and really play a
change
good
the
game.
game. Change the game.
Change the game for the better. I mean, currently we're having all these, how do I say this?
Don't.
Mouses. We have all these mouses
Wow.
out there where they're scared, they're intimidated by others, they're
I mean,
trying to lower their
hate to
threat level.
I hate to call out names, but the player of the recent season, um, I'd like
Ah,
to I'd like to get your thoughts on him. Who in the media has been said to be a mouse in some manners. Season 39. Are you aware? Tommy
The Tommy
Sheehan.
Sheehan. All right, I think he played an excellent game, one of the best games that Survivor's ever seen. But
Interesting.
did that fare well for the viewer, for the audience? Did they enjoy watching him? And I'm gonna say right now, no, they didn't. It was
I
too boring
didn't.
of a game. See, like you didn't either. I mean, I thought he could have been a little more entertaining, but he was just this tall redhead that played the game really well, and he intentionally lost immunity challenges so he could lower his threat level, and he did everything he could to win, but that doesn't make good TV.
And let me remind you, Survivor is a television show, a reality television show.
People
And
watch it to be entertained. They're not there to learn a lesson.
they're not there to win, guys.
They're
Well,
there to be entertained.
I guess maybe next time you go through the auditions, uh you guys know Shades. Maybe we can get a hashtag going. A hashtag get Shades on Survivor. Get Shades on
Thanks,
Survivor.
guys. That
I mean,
that would mean a lot.
and maybe we can get that going.
And
We'll think about it.
on the bottom of the screen, once I go on the island, it'll say professional podcaster. That's my
That's for
dream,
sure.
guys. That's my dream.
Let's make it happen.
All right, now that we're done with my story, let's talk about the show a little bit more. Sound
Yeah,
good?
this sounds good to me.
And I realize upon my 10 plus years of watching that there's a lot of stereotypes in the show, like that characters say
No
the
doubt.
same thing over and over again. The players do, the contestants, the castaways.
Yes, I've noticed.
You have
Yes, I've
any
noticed that as well.
you have anything you want to share?
Sure. Just off the top of my head, let me think. Do you think you're some type of godfather or something?
Oh yes, this stereotype. People who feel like they're on the bottom of the line use this when they're talking to the camera. I know for a fact that in season 37, David versus Goliath, a member of the David tribe named, what was her name? Gabby,
Uh,
I believe, was
yes.
saying this about the David leader and Carl. And she said those exact same words. Do you think you're some type of godfather or something? She said that to the camera in
Wow.
a really uh, angry way. And
It
later in that episode, they pull off one of the biggest blindsides ever seen.
wow. Do you
And
think it's used? Well, let's just break down the line for a second. Do you think you're some type of godfather? Godfather.
what is a
What
godfather?
godfather? Well, I, I've been thinking a lot about this ever since season 37. I've been thinking about that line. And I think it might be an example of illusion. Illusion. Godfather. What is Godfather? Is it
Isn't
it's
that a famous
not
movie?
no well, you could interpret it that way. I was thinking, is it referring to the title given to the uh parents, to the type of parent uh parents will pick a godfather for their child, a godfather or godmother.
No, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of a fatherly presence, an alpha male, like an
Ah,
alpha male from the Eastern Hemisphere, like we talked about in last episode.
yes.
I think it's some type of alpha male that wants all the power and control. That
So you
they're
say
laying
sort of
back, they're laying back in their hammock, and they want people to come to them with their ideas on it, who they're gonna vote out, or anything in that realm.
similar to, as you stated, a the character, the archetypal godfather, as shown in the film The Godfather. uh
Did you
in
ever watch The Godfather? I personally haven't, but I heard it's probably
greatest
the best
films,
film of
one of the greatest films of all time.
which one? Godfather 1, Godfather 2, or Godfather 3?
Godfather 3, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
What? All right. Next stereotypical quote. I know I shouldn't be saying this right now, but I feel like I'm in a really good spot.
Oh, yes, yes. I hear this basically every season. Yep, I'm looking at the list of seasons now. Yep,
You
I
you
hear it every season. It's usually when the leader of the
you were just
alliance.
looking over the seasons just to check
Yeah, it
that you heard it every
gave me
season, or
some reference. Yeah, it's usually people who feel like they're in a power spot and they're showing off their what's the
pietas,
pietas?
pietas.
Yes, we sat at the same exact time. They're showing off their
Yes,
power, their duty to
their power
control the chess pieces in the game of Survivor.
to show that
And
they they have some type of authority over the game. Some they are in a good spot,
yeah,
so to say.
and many times when people say this, they get voted out right after. It's like survivors saying to them,
It
you never know when something's going to happen in this game that just turns. The whole game can turn on its back.
it's almost when you hear that line. I know I shouldn't be saying this right now, but I feel like I'm in a really good spot. It's almost like a type of foreshadowing. Would you say foreshadowing?
That
Yeah,
something bad's going to
yeah,
happen
something
to
bad's
them,
going to happen.
either in that episode or
The
maybe the
following,
next. Yeah.
yeah.
What
You
does a really good
go on.
spot mean to you? What does that mean?
A good spot. A good spot. Well, when I think of a good spot, well, I'm not sure if you're aware of the film 101 Dalmatians.
Nope,
You
never
aware?
heard of it. Nope.
Well, it revolves around a type of uh, a type of canine that is familiar to us. Canis familiaris, the domestic dog, where the dog has a certain feature that is characteristic to the Dalmatian. And when I think of good spot, I sort of think of the spots of the Dalmatian. I mean, guys, if on your own time, if you guys want to look into this, Dalmatians, they're covered in spots, guys.
Let me look at that. Let me look at
Look it up.
Dalmatians.
Look it up. And I think when they say
Ooh,
a really good spot, I think they mean like a well-shaped, uh, resembling a perfect circle almost of a
on a
spot.
Dalmatian?
Yes,
Huh.
and they think that they are in a really good spot, almost a reference to a microcosm of society. They think they're microscopic, and they're on top of this really good spot. What do you think?
Ah, that's some really great analysis there. I never thought of it like that.
Well, is there some way you thought about it that I'm missing here?
I just thought of a really good spot as someone who's in a good position to control the rest of the game. They have their chess pieces in order. They have their rooks, they have their knights, their bishops. They're all
Queen,
ready
they
to
have a
push ahead.
queen, the king, the
Whoa,
pawns, they have the
no,
pawns.
no, I don't think they have the king. They are the king in their mind.
Ooh,
All
wow,
right, I think
wow.
that's some good analysis. You want to move on to the next one?
Sure. Another line that stood out to me. Let me think. You're either with me or against me. Wrestle hands.
Oh yes, yes. From season 19 to season 20, season 22, three-time player in a
Yes.
4-year span.
Yep.
2-year span.
What
Yeah.
before seeing?
Russell was a very he liked to have power and control. He made it to the final three in season 19 and season 20. And this is something he would say. And I feel like the older generational type of player would say. But
Kind of.
the new school
Yes.
players no longer say this, I feel like. Because when they
Yes.
say this, their threat level goes high. And all of them wants their threat level to go
They
back
think
down.
they think by saying this, they think he's some type of godfather or something.
Yeah, I feel like he wants that power in the game because in his mind, when he has power, he can control his people around him and move further in the game. But the only problem in Survivor, the only problem is when you get to that final three, the people who vote out vote for you. Have to vote for one of you three. And his
Yes.
jury management just not get part of the game. It just
Well, something that stood out to me about the character of Russell Hantz
yeah,
in
go on.
Survivor.
Uh-huh.
Um, he sort of had a uh, he was an element, I'd say, an element of chaos, an element of chaos. He wanted to go into the game and
Huh.
bring chaos around him, bring
Hmm.
chaos. Like,
I think he liked that.
for example, he burned people's socks. He
Oh
burned
yes,
people's
and
socks.
it's
Yes,
and also well that was Samoa in Heroes vs. Villain.
yes,
He
yes.
hid some tools so people couldn't so his trimates couldn't use them and he wanted to create that chaotic atmosphere.
And through the chaos, he sought a path to bring it together and move forward in the game.
Yep.
Move forward in the game.
I think you hit right on the nail. I
Thank
don't
you.
think there was anything else to say. I think he's a one type of player ever. Like there's never gonna be a player like him ever again in
That's for sure,
Survivor.
guys. If you don't know him, guys,
Learn it. Learn him.
learn him.
I think he also has his own podcast, his own YouTube channel.
No, we're not plugging that. No. All
No.
right. No.
Okay. I was
No,
just
because
saying something. I was just
we
saying
don't plug
something,
other.
Schmo.
No, we don't plug other podcasts. This is. I mean,
Sorry.
we're trying to get our listeners up here. We don't need people going to other people's podcasts. All right, whatever. We'll cut that out. All right, the next stereotypical quote. Um, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Oh yes. You hear this every season.
Yes, are you
Well,
familiar with this?
the past 20 seasons you've heard it. I mean, this is when ever
If you guys know Survivor, you can't not be familiar with this.
well, this is a new school quote, that's for sure. Back in the old days, they never had these hidden immunity idols,
It's true.
which brings me to the point. People say this line, finding a needle in the haystack, when a contestant is looking for a hidden immunity idol to play on themselves so they stay safe for that tribal council.
Yes, yes.
And
And when they say finding a needle in a haystack, when I heard this throughout the seasons of listening to Survivor, it really got me thinking. What does it mean to find a needle in a haystack? So I took it upon myself and I did it. I did it. I went and I got a haystack
wow,
and
how long did that take
I,
you?
I looked for one and I locked myself in the room. I went and looked for the needle in the haystack. Um, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was in there for about 6 or 7 days. That, that's how I felt. I was looking for the needle, and I mean, I
Did you ever find it?
well, the it's an interesting story about how I found it. Actually, if you give me a moment.
I'll give you a moment.
And I was tired. I was tired, and I was famished. I was thirsty, and so
Parched.
I was
You were
fatigued.
parched.
Yes, I was fatigued and parched, and I was like, well, I looked
Hmm.
up at the ceiling, and I'm like,
Uh,
well, I don't know if I'm ever gonna find this, and I'm locked in this room, and I said, nobody bother me, and so I just lied down in the haystack, and uh, well, there was a
did it come to you?
well, no, it was a very strong piercing uh on my bottom right oblique, and well, I after that point, I was aware that I might have found the needle in the haystack. I might have found it, and so I stood
Did
up.
you?
I stood up in exultation, and I was like, "Wow, I found it!"
That's my co-host.
It's hey, that's me. I found it, whether by chance
Yay!
or not. I found it. I found it, and I got out of there, and it was a good day. It was a good day. A good day.
Well, good
And
long
I
6
knew
days. It's good
I
6
knew.
days.
Yes, it was. It took some time, but I found it, and I mean, this is what you have to do, guys, to really understand when people say a certain line, a certain line. You guys
Finding
have
a
to.
needle in the haystack. You have to experience it
You guys,
yourself.
you really can't understand it unless you go through it yourself and take it take the challenge on
Well,
and
I
look
think
for it.
these castaways or contestants in the game of Survivor, they experience that themselves. I mean,
I mean, you
they're
can't say the saying unless you know what it means, right?
yeah, they're looking for a small piece of a hidden humidity that's probably as big as our, I don't know, as big as our phones, right?
Yes, yes.
And they look for it forever, all day, all night, nothing else to do. And I'm
And they,
sure when they find it,
yeah.
they're really happy.
Well, something stood out to me about the hidden immunity idol. Is there something that happens when after, as you were saying, when somebody finds this hidden immunity idol, there's a particular sequence of events that happens in which
Huh.
they find it and something happens, a
You,
surprise. It's not good,
sometimes,
not always a good surprise.
sometimes somebody in their tribe sees that they found it, and they have to do some control. They're like, "Yo, you want to share this, bro?" Other contestants like, "I don't know. I might just tell the tribe that you found a hidden immunity idol. That might get the target off my back."
And
That's the
that's
situation that occurs. You have to be very discreet when you're finding a hidden immunity idol, or you have to find it with someone you really trust. But in the game Survivor, you can't trust
you
anybody.
can't trust anyone.
You can only trust yourself.
Well,
Hmm.
we can go into more analysis on that later in the podcast. We'll save it.
Yeah.
But for now, let's go on to our next segment.
In this next part of the podcast, we are going to go through all 40 seasons of Survivor.
Survivor,
Survivor.
Survivor.
We're going to go through each one. And I'm going to ask you, Schmoe, if you liked it, didn't like it, or you never watched it. And then I'll add my input.
All right, all right.
Let's do it. Let's play
Let's
this
give it a
game.
shot. Let's give it a shot. I'll be
All
honest
right.
with you guys. I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't watch it or if I didn't like it, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
We are real. Get that through your guys' heads. We're going to get real with you all. All right. Let's begin. We'll start with season 1, Survivor, Borneo.
Borneo.
You liked it, didn't like it, or never watched it?
Uh, I liked that one. I liked it.
Oh, expand
Uh,
on that.
um, well, Richard, the winner
Yes,
of
the
season
winner.
one. Yes, the winner of season one. On August 23rd. Um, um,
All right.
Survivor. To he won. Oh yes, yes. A particular thing I enjoyed about the season one Survivor Borneo was that he won by a 4-3 vote. A 4-3 vote over
Oh, really?
Kelly. Yes, Kelly Wigglesworth.
Yes, that was the famous vote where Sue Hawk said she's going to vote on the snake eating the mouse or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said that Richard ate Kelly Wigglesworth. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that,
I'm gonna
that was
tell
a
you.
big moment. But
I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it.
okay, give me your thoughts.
Now that it's 2021 and it was first aired in 2000, I'm not a fan of Borneo anymore.
Hmm.
I just find it very boring and not
Irrelevant.
interesting. Yes, irrelevant. It's such a Survivor has evolved into such a different game now. It's really hard to watch Borneo.
Wow.
I know.
Well, something I found particularly interesting about season one was um, the name Survivor Borneo. What is Borneo?
Well,
Borneo.
well, it's a location, of course. I
What
just
is
don't know where.
Borneo? Where is Borneo?
You want me to look it up? It's an island in Asia,
Where in Asia?
Southeast Asia. It's a giant rugged island in Southeast Asia's Malay archipelago, shared by the Malaysian states of Sabah and Sarawak, Indonesian Kalimantan, and the tiny nation of Brunei. It's
Hmm.
known for its beaches and ancient biodiverse rainforest, home to wildlife including orangutans and cloud leopards.
Go on.
1 second, I kind of X'd out of
Uh,
the
uh,
Wikipedia page we were looking at.
I was well. I guess that sort of breaks the immersion there. I was putting myself in Borneo there,
And
but I mean
Sabah,
you couldn't continue.
I'm continuing right now, all right? Is that fine with you?
No, you know what? Forget it. Let's just move on.
All right, let's move on. But what's your final thoughts on Borneo? You liked it?
You know what? I'm gonna give it a.
A
I liked
meh.
it.
A
Yeah,
meh.
I'm gonna say leaning towards I liked it just
Oh,
because it's season one. Season one. It's
yeah, it's
such an iconic episode. Iconic season.
I, I agree with you on that. I just for today's viewers, it's really hard to watch.
No doubt.
And I would say that for the next 5 seasons. Uh
Oh,
Australian Outback, Survivor Africa, Survivor Marquesas,
oh,
Survivor Thailand, Survivor Amazon. I find them all really boring.
okay. Well,
Uh,
I guess we shouldn't really cover them then. I mean, we're
I
not
mean,
trying to, you don't want to give a boring episode, right?
uh, yeah, I mean, the only thing to go over is that season 4 is marks the beginnings of Boston Rob.
Whoa.
Boston Rob.
Wow. A most overrated player.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's really done nothing. I mean, there's nothing else to
Yeah,
say there.
well, let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay. Pearl
Seven,
Islands.
seven, seven.
That's a season Sandra wins. That's
Whoa.
Sandra's first
The
win.
Queen?
Yep, Queen of Survivor. That's her first win.
I,
What's your thoughts on that? Do you think do you think she deserves all the recognition that she has gotten?
um, no, no, not at all. And in fact, I think
Hmm.
it in fact cheapens the show. It cheapens the show.
You think she's not a good player?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Hmm.
I just think that maybe when they say a a king and a queen of Survivor, maybe they should reconsider. Maybe
Huh.
a monarchy isn't the best thing for Survivor. I mean, if it's a microcosm of society, maybe they should reconsider the political model.
Hmm. Yeah. What I'm gonna say is I think she's a tiny bit overrated. Uh, in the first game in
Huh?
Pearl Islands, I believe she
English,
was. I'm
English.
sorry. We all know that I do this sometimes. I have a lot of saliva in my mouth right now. But in her first
TMI.
game in Pearl Islands, She got carried. She got carried by Johnny Fairplay. Let's be honest. She's not that good of a player. And season 20, she wins again. And she did nothing. She was carried by Russell Hantz. Season 34 in Survivor Game Changers, she gets voted out before the merge. And same thing at Winners at War. She
got played. Queen of Survivor.
She got played by Denise, another winner from Survivor Season 25, Philippines. So
you want to take a moment to talk about that blind side right there? The blind side that went on between Denise and Sandra, the queen?
Well, Sandra's like, I want your fire tokens and I'll give you this hidden immunity idol, right? That's how it went.
I think she suggested to bequeath the fire tokens.
From Denise, right?
Yes.
And they traded for a hidden immunity idol. And Denise used that hidden immunity idol to put it on Jeremy. And she used it for herself. And the votes went to Sandra.
Wow.
It was an epic blindside where the queen just got blindsided.
And you could say it was a checkmate. A checkmate.
Yeah, you could say that. Do I think it was that good of a blindside? It was I think it's overrated.
We'll leave that to the listener to think for themselves.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Survivor All-Stars. Amber wins, but was carried by Boston Rob. Boston Rob was a bully that season.
Yes. Yes, and it was I believe the location was Pearl Islands in Panama. And this was actually a historic moment for Survivor because it was the first installment to bring back former castaways.
Oh, yes. It was called Survivor All-Stars after all.
Yes. And
another fun fact that it has the most episodes of any season with 17.
The next season, season 9, was it?
Survivor Vanuatu. All right, let me ask you, Schmoe. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Or did you not watch it?
Loved it.
Expand on that.
Well, the winner of the season, as all real Survivor players would know, Chris Daugherty.
Survivor fans, you mean?
Real Survivor, yes. Survivor
watchers.
People who actually know the show would know season 9 for Chris Daugherty. Arguably I'd say probably the greatest Survivor. Period. Mm-hmm. Greatest Survivor, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he was on the bottom at the very beginning of the game, and he was able to manage the people around him to get on his side. He was an underdog, and he won. And that was with a time where there was no hidden immunity idols or anything like that.
He won with his fists and his wit.
His mind
and his play as well. His play. And he took that and he went and won the Survivor Prize. And I think that's what makes him particularly unique as a player. And what I'm really disappointed with Jeff in particular, Jeff Probst, is that they never brought him back. They never brought him back.
I guess they don't like him or something.
I don't know if there's some controversy there. I've been
Survivor
reading the
forum.
I've been reading the forums. I haven't seen anything about Chris Daugherty. It's almost like they're removing him.
I know, it's pathetic.
I mean, if you guys want to leave some comments about him, I mean, we're not going to remove him. That's for sure.
I would die to see him play Survivor again. I would literally die. All right, you want to move on to season 10?
Season 10.
Palau. Did you watch it?
Palau.
Did you watch it?
Palau. Who hasn't? A 6-1 vote over Katie Gallagher. Yes. Tom Westman.
Tom Westman,
yes. May 5th,
Dominated the
2005.
game. He
15th.
controlled the game from beginning to end. It was a great game by Tom Westman, and you could see it clearly by the vote at the end of the game.
I mean, I think. Well, I guess that's good for now.
All right.
Next season.
All right. Now we're on to season 11, Survivor Guatemala, and let me tell you, Danny Boatwright played a very witty game.
Okay. I thought when I was watching the show, I think Outlast was really the portion that she excelled at. Outlast.
Well, I think she was also able to outwit her competitors, like Judd, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Guatemala, Panama, season 12.
Season 12. Yes, with Vasco.
Yes.
He won. Yes, season 12.
You mean ours? I feel like you didn't watch it. Be honest. Be real.
He won with a 5-2 vote over Danielle Di Lorenzo. Yes, I'm recalling.
Yes.
I'm recalling now.
You have to tell the truth. You have to. Don't lie to these viewers. If you're not going to tell the truth, I will.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember this season, guys. I don't think I watched it. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
This is embarrassing. I don't know why you had to do that, Shades, to really bring this up, but this is embarrassing, guys. I didn't see season 12.
Well, it's embarrassing for me that my co-host doesn't know what he's talking about. All right. Let's pick it up. Well, I'll tell the audience about Panama. They started off the season with 4 different tribes, and then they were separated into younger females, older females, older males, and younger males. Guess who dominated the game from the start? The younger males. So they were able to win the challenges. So the game goes on.
I'll play.
The final 4, I believe, is Suri, Terry, Aris, and Danielle. And Aris wins. Suri's first game, and it was a good one. Nothing else to go over there.
Okay, let's move on.
Season 13, Cook Islands.
Let's move on.
Overrated season. Just some famous players like Barbie, Ozzy, Yule.
Becky Lee.
Yep, Becky Lee.
Yes.
Never heard of her.
Particular, real Survivor fans know, but it's besides the point.
Do they?
Season's location: Cook Islands, New Zealand.
Ooh.
New Zealand. Yule. What do you think of Yule? Do you think was it a good win? Was it a?
I think it was a great win. He dominated the game with his wits. He didn't need immunity challenges.
Okay.
It's better than Ozzy's game. Ozzy just won every immunity challenge, and that's how he stayed alive.
Let me remind you of the score. 5-4-0. 5-4-0. That was
It was
a close one. That was a close one.
The
fact that you're belittling Ozzy's game right now is a little disappointing. A little disappointing to say the least.
He didn't do anything. He just won challenges.
That's a part of the game. Outplay. It's
Yeah, but you'll outwitted and outlasted so much.
What are you doing?
What's it look like? I'm drinking water.
It doesn't look like anything. This is an all audio podcast.
I think you know what I meant, but let's continue. Survivor season 14, Fiji. Another very underrated winner that Jeff Probst just has decided not to bring on an Earl. Earl dominated
Earl,
this game from start to finish,
yeah.
and Jeff Roach just doesn't want him back. Do we
I
know
don't I
why?
don't know why, but Jeff is I
It
mean
really
there
angers
might have
me.
I hate to speculate here, but I think there might have been an argument there between Jeff and Earl.
Speculate.
It's
I think it's
speculation, but I'm
proven.
gonna be honest with you guys. Uh, I don't know what happened there, but he one of the greatest players of all time, probably
Just
second. Uh,
behind
and
Chris Dollery.
yes, of course, and um, I think he won with a unanimous vote, 9-0-0 over Cassandra and Dreams
I
Heard.
think that was the first unanimous vote ever.
I believe so, and I think something that really stood out to me uh, was the location, Fiji. Fiji.
Yeah.
It's a location that Survivor fans are for later seasons are
Very well aware of.
very familiar with, and
They're
it's
not
a
going
place
anywhere
Survivor
else.
fans and Survivor players would call home for years to come.
All right, let's move on. Survivor Season 15 China. Probably one of the greatest seasons of all time, to be honest. We're not going to go through why. You have to watch it yourself. Survivor Season 16 Micronesia. Fans versus favorites. They brung players back for the second time in the show's history.
Yep.
And I have to say, it's much better than the first time they did. Just much more entertaining.
All right. Season 17.
Gabon.
Bob
Yeah,
Crowley.
that guy,
Wow.
probably one of the worst winners of all time. He did absolutely nothing but just win challenges. And
Absolute tank,
he
though. You
was
gotta be
he was a
honest here.
tank. I mean,
Absolute tank.
just built stuff. Insane.
He was actually the oldest player to ever claim the $1 million check.
Care.
All right, season 18. Season 18. JT.
Tokentines.
Yes, Tocantins.
JT
The
won against Steven Fishback.
JT Thomas, right? JT Thomas.
Yep. He also played Survivor Game Changers later. But Tokentines, he dominated that game.
And Heroes versus Villains. I mean that in that
But
game.
yes, he made
Oh
one of
yeah.
the dumbest moves in Survivor history by giving an idol to Russell.
That's I mean, if there's one player you're not gonna give your idol to, who is it? Who is it?
Russell Hats.
Let's move on. Season 19.
Survivor Samoa, or we should name it Survivor Russell Hats Show.
Yep. Yeah.
That's literally what it was.
That's what it
But
was. He controlled the game from the beginning. He
controlled it all the way until the end, but the jury did not respect his game and he lost.
lost.
So,
Did it have something to do with his actions, standing in the rain or burning people's socks? Do you think it had anything to do with that?
Yes.
All right, next season. Season 20.
Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Arguably one of the greatest seasons of all time. Another all-star season where there are heroes.
Well, this is not an all-star season. This is Heroes vs. Villains.
It's an all-star season because they're bringing great players back.
This was Heroes vs. Villains, not all-stars.
Yeah, but
right,
they bring back competitors like Boston Rob, Russell Hantz.
I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say sticks back to you.
Oh, God. Bring out the cringe fam here. Well, this season was just great. And not sure if you guys are aware of, but there's a streaming platform called Netflix.
No,
Netflix.
No. Not giving any shout outs.
No.
Do not go to Netflix.
Well, you can watch the season on
Netflix.
You can watch the season on Netflix.
You cannot watch the season on Netflix. Do not go to Netflix. Thank you. Keep listening to the podcast. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Well, it's a great season.
Alrighty.
Where Sandra wins her second title by being carried.
Again.
Yep. You're right. Survivor Season 21, Nicaragua.
One could say she, at this point, was the president of
Of being
Survivor.
carried.
Well, I was going to say the president of Survivor having 2 wins. The president of Survivor.
The queen.
The president. And all right, I don't like your attitude. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. My co-host here, Shades. I'm going to be honest. I don't like your attitude today.
Survivor Season 21, Nicaragua. Your thoughts?
Ignore
Did
me.
you watch it?
Ignore me.
I like it.
Just trying to be real the fans here, but anyways, oh yes, season 21. I'll cut it that point. Okay, season 21. Yes, with the Judd Fabio Berza. Yes.
Fabio?
Yes.
Wait, maybe Phil
wait.
Cly.
Oh, what? Whoa.
We just figured it out.
That's who Fabio was.
If you guys haven't watched episode 1, but this is Fabio.
What?
And read.
Whoa.
Fabio was known to be like kind of an idiot.
Wow.
He is now an American model.
But Fabio Lanzoni was not the Fabio that was mononymously referred to by Phil Clay.
This might have been it because he was an idiot. Fabio in this season,
so
by his castmates, were an idiot.
Was a fan of season 21
of Survivor Nicaragua. Wow. We just cracked the code,
guys. This is why you have to watch every episode, guys. If you haven't watched the last episode, go back, watch it in its entirety, and
go back now.
Come back.
Do it.
We'll give you a moment. We'll give you a moment to go back and watch the last episode. All right, season 21.
Nicaragua, probably one of the worst seasons of all time. All right, season 22. Probably one of the worst seasons of all time. Redemption Island. Boston Rob just dominates the game with a bunch of dumb players. Survivor Season 23. South Pacific. Another bad season. Survivor Season 24. Another bad season. So as you can see, seasons 21 through seasons 24 were all bad.
I mean, I hate to disagree with you here, but it might have been one of my favorite seasons.
Why?
I'm not here to justify my thoughts here, but I mean, season 20, 21 through 25. I think Survivor really bloomed into what it is today, what it is now.
Well,
as a game,
I think
they were vital.
I think season 25 was the start of that. Survivor Philippines, where Denise Stapley won. It's a great season. They placed an immunity idol in every tribe at the beginning of the game. They started off with 3 tribes of 6. And I know somebody from that season indirectly, but I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay. Don't say it.
He advanced pretty far in the game.
Don't say who it is.
He advanced pretty far in the game.
Don't say who it is. Season 26.
I thought Philippines was a very good season. Solid.
Good. So we say we liked that one. We liked season 25.
We liked it. One of the few seasons we've really liked so far.
Yeah.
Survivor season 26. Didn't like it. That was bad.
Probably probably worst in Survivor history. Worst player.
Who cares about Cochran? They didn't play that good of a game.
I don't know how he possibly won with an 8-0 vote over Dawn Meehan and Sherry Beethman.
Yeah, look at the people he played against, Dawn and Sherry.
Namely, let's just go back to the motto of the show: outwit, outlast, outplay. Did he do any of these? Do you think
outwit? I think he outwitted, but that was very easy because the people he was up against were idiots. He outplayed because he did win a couple of challenges, but at this point in time, immunity challenges weren't about strength or anything. This was the stretch when Survivor individual immunity challenges started to become a little
shine.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
But he did outlast, so you have to give him that. That's my thoughts.
All right. Well, season 27.
Oh, this was the season where they brought on family members on the show.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I guess you
Wow.
could trust one person at least. Because
Yes.
that that gave a whole new layer to the game.
It
Something,
really it gave a layer of a familiarity with it. You sort of have an alliance, a bit of an alliance already in the
yeah,
game at the beginning of the game, and I think this
and
really
it all became pairs of two.
yes
Like if you
pairs.
get one person, then you'll get their family member too. So like 2 + 2 = 4, and another pair is 6. And there you go. You got your alliance of 6.
Wow. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
winner,
Yeah.
Tyson Apostol, uh,
Great winner. He deserved it. He played
great winner.
2 other times before that.
Some would say a fan
Favorite.
favorite, a fan favorite. To us, we would say, all right,
Yeah. I
all right. I would say
I
probably.
thought I thought he was a really good winner.
I
I,
would say he's probably number 17 on the list of my favorites.
all right. Well, we'll go through that in part 2, but
We'll save it. All right. Season
Survivor.
28,
All
Tony
right,
Vlachos.
we're not gonna go through the season at all. If you don't know this season, then
Stop watching. Stop watching. We don't want to even.
watch it on Netflix or something.
Oh,
You have to
all
watch it
right.
right now. I mean, it's a great
We'll, get,
season.
we'll give you a moment to come back. All right. Season 29.
San Juan del Sur, another family season. So this is basically Blood vs. Water, but I liked Blood vs. Water better. Survivor
Season
30, Worlds
30.
Apart.
Season 30.
Mike Holloway is the winner.
White collar versus blue
He,
collar versus no collar.
yeah, the winner wins like 7 straight immunity challenges. He didn't really deserve to be there, but he went on immunity runs, so that was fun.
Season 31. Jeremy Collins.
I really liked this season. It was all about strategy. It was a big strategic season, and survivors got a second chance to play the game. Another
Tough vote. Tough vote as well.
What do you mean? Wasn't
Oh, no, it was like a close vote, right?
at the end of the game? No, I think it
Yeah.
was unanimous. Jeremy dominated the game from beginning to end.
Oh, all right. Season 32.
Oh, wrong.
KO wrong. KO
They
wrong.
It's the same layout as Kalyan, Brawn versus Beauty. And I thought Michelle was a good winner in this. People may disagree. People may think that's Aubrey
Guys,
Bracco, but
we support debate, guys. If you have any thoughts on this, leave it in the comments, guys. You know, leave it in the reviews. We need people to see that this podcast is about interacting with our audience. So just leave some reviews. Leave 5 stars.
how about 10 stars?
If there's a 10 stars option, leave that, guys. Come
Yep.
on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
But what's your thoughts on this
Season
particular season?
33, Adam Klein.
All right. Well,
Also a tough vote there.
these next 8 seasons are all filmed in Fiji.
And hey, I said it from the beginning, guys. This is Fiji's our home. Fiji's our home, guys.
I don't want it to be my home. I want them to continue switching. I don't
You're
get
saying
they're
it's a
not.
lack of creativity on the part of Jeff Probst, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Are you perhaps bitter about your failing in auditions, the final auditions? Are you perhaps bitter about that in your decision making?
I told you we weren't bringing this up again, but I'm not bitter at all. Maybe that they should be more creative. I don't get why it's all in one spot.
Sounds a little bitter to me, but
You sound bitter. You're the one who sounds bitter.
Very mature. Very mature.
Season 34 Game Changers. We've already talked about it. It's kind of bad. It's not a good All-Star season. Survivor Heroes vs. Healers versus Hustlers. I stopped watching after the first 2 episodes, and I'm happy that I did.
I wish I did.
I'm happy that I did.
Season 36, Wendell Holland. Wendell Holland.
Wasn't a good season. Players weren't good at the game. Not at all.
There was this theme of reversing the curses of former castaways' mistakes.
Oh, wow. So dramatic, Jeff. Great job. Just go on to the next one.
Season 37.
It hates me to say this, but I love that season. Just
Guys,
so many great players.
Twists and turns. It's just a very interactive season, guys.
I felt like I was on a roller coaster. I was like,
yeah, going
that was
upside
sad.
down,
That was emotional.
But I'm just gonna give a comment to our listeners here about Nick Wilson. About namely the color of his shirt.
Yeah,
color of his shirt.
He wore
Poor
a white shirt.
Poor choice.
Was he like 10 years old wearing a white shirt?
Frankly, it's disgusting. The shirt color.
You can say that again.
He goes in with a white shirt. He comes back with a filthy sand color, greenish, brownish, beige.
Well, let's be honest, Schmoe. Let's be honest. I don't think he gets to choose his wardrobe.
What?
I think the Survivor producers picked the wardrobe for each player.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
don't ask me why.
In that way, I mean, I'll just give a message right to the producers, because I'm just going to give them a tip. Do not choose white shirts.
I second that. It's a horrible choice. Shirt shouldn't be turning yellow by episode day 10.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. Season 38. Let's move on.
Edge of extinction. All right. One word to describe the season. Go.
Rigged.
Cringe.
Cringe. Rigged right from the start.
Yeah. Do you even want to go into it? I think we have to. I think we have to.
Chris
a little bit.
Is not the winner.
He shouldn't be the winner. He was literally voted out. He was literally the third person voted out.
Is the winner of season 38. We are going to say that as a position of the podcast.
Don't get me wrong. I think Gavin Wilson's a horrible player, but he got there he got there at the end. He deserved to win.
He was not horrible. He excelled in the final rounds, and I would say he
outlasted. He stayed there for the whole game.
He outplayed, in fact, in some of his rewards, and he deserves to win if he just learned how to make a fire. That's all.
He got to then.
Some tips for Gavin: learn how to make a fire next season.
No, Schmoe.
39.
He wasn't the one who made the fire. Rick Devens made the fire.
Oh.
So you didn't watch it?
Season 39, we referred to the winner of this game prior, Tommy Sheehan.
I think you already know our thoughts on this season by the way we referred to him. They have idols Boston Rob and Sandra, and we could really care less about them.
Honestly, guys,
skip this season. Skip it.
Everyone listening, skip this season.
Don't watch it. Save time. My grandfather always says that time is too important to waste. So please don't watch this season and watch something else that's well worth your time.
Season 40.
All right.
Most recent season. What do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Loved it? You thought it was...
I thought some things could have been better. I hated that they had the Edge of Extinction back in the game. But
fans wanted it. They got it back.
I liked it. I liked seeing all the winners return. Well, not all, but 20 of them.
Yeah, some of them.
What's your
That's
thoughts?
what's my thoughts? I thought it was good.
All right. Well, that's our 40 season breakdown. In part two, we'll break down more if you want. But
Guys,
I'm
I'll be
glad that we
happy to
did.
I'll be happy to go over the 40 seasons again and go in more detail with you guys. If you guys want that for part 2, just leave it in the comments.
Yeah, I'm glad we did a quick rundown of each season, and you guys got the mood of what each season's about. So I
Hopefully,
think that's pretty
hopefully it
good.
inspires you guys to do the same. Maybe sending videos of going through with your buddies each season, what you guys think about it, a little short summary, your thoughts, analysis, annotation, and come back to us.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on to the next segment.
All right, so that was the 40 seasons that we uh very softly summarized is a good term,
Yes,
right?
softly summarized and gave the
The mood of each season, like what.
yes, the mood, how we felt about it, what are the takeaways, what are the main takeaways. That's sort of what we gave you.
Yeah, it was a quick breakdown. Quick breakdown.
But some of you guys might be asking after. I know we went into detail for each of the 40 seasons, but some of you might be asking, why didn't we go over many individual players and talk about their games? Well, we thought as a group
That's for you guys to do.
that's
That's
for
for
you
you guys
guys
to
to
do.
watch and
Watch the
decipher
show.
each of
Watch
the
the show
40 seasons,
yourself.
guys. Watch it yourself.
And we've already watched pretty much, I'll say, 80% of the seasons, right, Schmoe? Like,
I think I watched every season. Every season. I've
oh,
seen every
come
season.
on. You didn't watch Panama. We already discussed
I
that.
I would say I watched every season. Every
Okay,
season.
well,
And I challenge you guys to do the same. Go over
once you
and
guys watch it, send us a tweet and we might do part two.
if you
And
guys like this podcast,
where
we
we
will
break
do a
down
part
every
2.
season. We'll break down every season in a different episode. Do you think we could do that?
I think so.
All right, well,
Let us know if you
uh,
guys want a part 2 or get more in depth. Um,
we'll talk about the game and our thoughts on the show as a whole. What we would
we
do
will
if
go
we
through
played the game.
every episode, guys. If you guys want it, we will go through every episode,
Yeah.
our thoughts, pre and post tribal council, and really get into it. All right.
Oh, we could start a different podcast. We could do a post game show.
Yes, I agree. I'm a bit disappointed with Jeff's decisions about the not having a season this year.
Well, I think one's gonna be coming out in the fall.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff did not give us a season this year, but
No,
I
it's all
mean
Jeff's fault.
that's besides the point. In the next episode of the podcast, I'm going to tell him
Tell him.
there will be a special guest.
Yeah,
There's
we're
going to
not
be a
telling you
special
who.
guest there, but we're not going to say who. All right, guys.
Do you
All
want them
right.
to give a Do you want to give a hint on what the next episode of the podcast is going to be about?
I'll give you a glimpse. There's going to be a discussion. A discussion.
Wait, Shmuel. Since this is like the Survivor podcast, let's do. You know, at the end they say next time on Survivor.
Oh, yes.
We'll do
All
next
right.
time on the podcast.
The podcast. There will be a special guest. And there might be a discussion of sorts, a roundtable discussion.
Round table discussion.
It might or might not have something to do with the NCAA, the organization,
And whether they
should be
paid, whether players should be paid or not.
Paid. It's a hot debate, hot topics we got for the next podcast.
And we'll also talk about if working out 24 hours a day is healthy for you or not.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening. Leave comment suggestions. We'll get into
Peace.
it next time. Ciao.
Deuces.